Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Altcoin Mentors YouTube channel. My name is Peter, and today I'm going to be doing our weekly technical analysis for the cryptocurrency markets, focusing on our watch list. Our main goal here at Altcoin Mentors is to help as many people as possible achieve their goal of financial freedom. We believe trading cryptocurrencies is an opportunity of a lifetime. By the end of this video, you should have a better understanding of where the cryptocurrency market is headed in the short-term and long-term future. If you like our videos, please follow us on Twitter and on Telegram. We also have a link down below where you can follow our positions and progress for our 2K 5X challenge, where I try to turn $2,000 into $10,000 trading Bitcoin on a one-for-one basis, going long and short. If you'd like to be notified of our latest videos, please hit the bell button and follow us. All right, so let's start with Bitcoin. So just that we're clear, let's start with what I talked about last week. So if you don't follow us on Twitter, like I said before, you should follow us. We put a lot of stuff on a daily basis, also on Telegram. So last week I said that on our 4 time frames, intraday, swing, positional, and investment, 3 out of the 4 has turned positive. Right, so I started scaling in and looking for some more upside. So to further clarify where the upside was headed, same day I tweeted about where the market's going. So 7,700 is resistance, and then if it goes up higher, then it'll go to 8,400, 9,400, and 10,000. So these are all barriers that we have to pass. So what happened in the last week? Let's take a look. So on a daily basis, if you look at it, so this is where we were last week. Right here, right? And this is where we are this week. So last week I said that if it breaks 7,700, our next stop is 8,400, and that's exactly what happened. It went up, it peaked above it, and then now it's kind of hanging out around 8,200. So it has to get past 8,400 to get up to 9,400, and then up to 10,000. But if it breaks this little level here, 9,400 is our next target. So if you look at it here, a couple weeks ago, I talked about how this could be a curl. But in order for us to go higher, it has to pass this little box because it was ranging for over a month. And then here it ranged for about a week. And then now, yesterday on Twitter, I asked how long is this going to range for? Is it going to range for a week or is it going to range a little bit longer? Because that's what it tends to do. So if you look at our long-term view, like I said, our long-term positional trade on our wave indicator is positive. And so because we have higher highs and higher lows. So our targets are 9,400 and 10,000. On a short-term basis, if you look at it here, we're stuck between 7,700 and 8,400. I have a trade-in right here at 81.75. So I'm up a little bit of money. I have my stop loss at the bottom of the wave. So I'm willing to suffer a $100 loss. So here, if it starts to hover around 8,400 for a long time, I will probably get out because I'm afraid of a snapback. Because until we get past 8,400, we can't go past, up to 9,400. So when we talked about videos on scaling in and scaling out, so if you look at the progress of the videos I'm doing, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to help people set up for their whole strategies. Right, so the fundamentals of money management, risk management, and TA, technical analysis, comes in last because you have to have a plan. So the plan isn't just the charts. The charts are the last thing you look at. So what you do is you set up your how much money, like what size you're going to get into. So as I said last week, I started scaling in. So what that means is that I started putting in 20% of what I wanted to put into Bitcoin, and I started going long. And then I was a little bit nervous around 7,700, and once it broke, I added more size because that's what I said I was going to do. That's why if you follow us on Twitter, right, you know exactly what I was going to do. So this is my plan, right? So I added size above 7,700. I didn't know it was going to go to 8,400. So I added size above 7,700, but I said I'd take profits until it's above 8,400 with confirmation. Then I'm going to add 20% more. So because it hasn't closed above 8,400 and confirmed, right now I am at 60%, 20%, and 40%, 60% long on Bitcoin. So I'm not ready to go all in yet. So I'm scaling in. And so if it bounces around 8,400 and starts to go lower, what I'll do is I'll take off 40%. and I'll still have my 20% in a long, which has a stop loss below 7,700. So you see my strategy here. So I'm scaling in slowly, and I'm taking profits, and as it goes higher and higher, the positions that I just got into, I'm scaling out of, right? And that's what I'm trying to do. So on a short-term basis, Bitcoin is going a little bit sideways for the last day and a half. Hopefully it breaks over 8,400 soon. If it doesn't, we'll see where it goes. But if it breaks this little low here of 80.68, then I think it might hover all the way down to 7,700, and then it probably should bounce back up, but it could break down. So what I don't try to do is I don't use Elliott Wave or stochastics or MACD or RSI for technicals. This is the chart. So that's what I tweeted out yesterday. So people are like, the MACD, RSI, stochastics, they're all over the charts. Bitcoin needs to reset, right? And for me, I haven't looked at those things in over 20 years because they lag. Because there's a big push right now for the markets on Bitcoin to the upside. So we have to kind of ride it as long as we can. So the trend is to the upside. Now it may stall and it may hover. And then people say, oh, look, see, RSI is, oversold, overbought, and now it's going to go back down. But then if it goes back down, how far is it going to go? Is it going to go back up down to 6,000, right? My take on that is it might go up to 7,700 and hover. And until we really see any volume, like I always said before, it won't make a bigger push. So right now, it's kind of stalled here at about 8,400. But if it does break through, it can go back up to 9,400. But right now, the trend is definitely up for Bitcoin. All right, so let's look at Ether. So Ether on a daily basis, like I said last week, is going sideways. And that's exactly what it's still doing. It's still going sideways until it really breaks out of this box. I should draw a box here, which I will. Right here. Because here, as you can see, there's two lines, right? If we zoom in, right here, you see major resistance here up at 505, and then support at 420. And basically, for the last month, that's what it's been doing. It's been bouncing in and out of that range until it breaks this little level here. It can't go much higher up to the 580s, 600s. So if we look at it on a shorter time frame here, right, you see it. It's definitely right in that box. I just created that box, and look at that, right? This is where the range has been. So you can make some money trading it up and down, sideways, but on a long-term view, it doesn't really look that good, only on a intermediate level. So let's look at EOS. I think EOS is starting to look a little bit better. It's hovering around this little box here, right around support, and hasn't really made up its mind. It's a little bit confused about what it wants to do. But if it can stay above here and break out of this little area over here, it can definitely go back up to the $12 range. And so if we look at it on a shorter time frame, that's really basically what has happened. So same thing for EOS. It's been trading in a range for over a month. Until it really breaks out, it can't go much higher. So it looks like it has a little bit of upward momentum here. But in the last 90 minutes, it's been going down. So it's just going sideways because we need to have higher highs and higher lows, and that's not what we're having right now. So here, if this doesn't make a new higher high, then it can go all the way, it can go right back down. That's what it started doing over here. This looks like it's going to support. 805 has to support for EOS. Let's look at Monero on a daily basis. Here, if you look at it, same thing. It's going sideways, right? You don't really look at the wicks, but it's also stuck between major resistance here at 150 and support at around 111. So it's going sideways. It's very, very, very choppy. So if you look at it though on a shorter time frame, you can see a little bit better, right? Look at this. It's been 6 weeks now. It's been going sideways for Monero. All right. So one thing I started doing because for me, most of the smaller coins I try to trade it as much as I can on against a dollar. But I know that most of you don't. So what I did was for the smaller altcoins, especially the ones on Binance, what I did was I changed all my charts to smaller altcoins to Bitcoin, because I think that's what you guys are looking at. So like I said in the beginning of our video, we want to help as many people as possible. So even though this is not what I generally do, right, I want to be able to help people out and give my perspective on where the markets are going for altcoins versus Bitcoin. So we'll start off with Icon. So if you look at Icon on a long-term basis, on a daily basis, it's going down, right? And there's nothing, you can't say anything about it. It's just going down against Bitcoin. If you look at it on a 6-hour chart, same thing. It looks really bad. It broke below support, below 2093. It looks like it's headed lower. And even on a 90-minute chart, on a shorter time frame, right? We have a little bit of a bump up here, but I wouldn't touch this, for a long time. So start with Enigma. Someone asked me about that the other day. So Enigma, if you look at it here, we have a lower lows, lower highs on a daily basis. Only today we have a color change, bouncing off of support at 15880. On a smaller time frame, it looks a little bit better. It bounced off over here. And what I told the person yesterday was that if you want to take a chance, wait for it to break out of this box, but you have to have a very, very tight stop. So here, if you did that, it went a little bit higher. Maybe you broke even, maybe you made a little bit of money, but the range would be from here to here. So if you wanted to make money in, change the color here. This is where, the money area is right here, right? So if you don't take money somewhere in between this area over here, then you can, take a loss. So you have to be very, very tight. Some people say, well, it's a little bit cheap against Bitcoin, so it can be a little bit higher. This is what all the other people say. And what I tell people is that don't listen to other people, even me, right? Listen to yourself. Look at what the charts are telling you. So here we have what looks good is that we have a new higher high. But until it breaks out of this here zone, I should actually raise it a little bit higher over here and creates a new higher high, and then maybe test the low over here and bounce back up, then Enigma, might not be going anywhere. So it's not something that I'm not looking at too hard. So look at ZRX. So ZRX, I said it's going to be a curl up here on a daily basis. If you look at it, it needs a new higher high to confirm up. So here, ZRX is one of the ones that I like. Same thing with BitShares for some of the smaller altcoins. And so we have a higher high, higher low, higher high. And so what is this, right? Is this going to be a higher low? Right now, we don't know. If it keeps on going down, it could be a new lower low, and then it could just go sideways for a while or go back down. So it needs a new higher high wave to confirm up to the upside. So on a shorter term time frame, same thing, right? We have a big curl over here. So what is this, right? So this is going to be an important area. We're still at support over here. This is support over here. It bounced off of it, and now it might channel for a little bit. So ZRX is one of the things I'm looking for, but until it really breaks to the upside over here, breaks out, I'm not really going to be touching it. So let's get Zcoin. So Zcoin on a daily basis here, if you look at it, it looks pretty bad. There's no waves anywhere to the upside. It's just going down. So I suspect that if you look at it on a short time frame, same thing. All the waves are just down, 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 and down. So Chainlink is interesting. So people started going higher. But look at Chainlink though. If you think about it, this could be a snapback up. But you better take profits. You have to be very careful around this area at 3867 in this little zone over here, because this is where you take profits. Because until it makes a new higher high, this could just be a trap. It could just go back down. So we don't know. We never know until the second wave. So that's why sometimes it takes me a long time to call trends, right? I don't call tops. I don't call bottoms. I don't use, Fibonacci to say, oh, it's, it has to go up to like 1.3, 1.6, 2, it's only down like 0.38, 0.68. There's too many numbers, right? So I like support and resistance. So, a lot of times they fit exactly with it. So we'll see what happens. But here, we have a lower high wave. We have a lower low. So we have to see where this is going to go. All right, let's look at the BitShares. So BitShares, same thing here. We have lower highs. But this is very interesting here because we have high, high, high. It almost tried to break through, but now it's holding, right? If it creates a new lower low, then we have a possible, trend back to the downside. So on a shorter time frame, you can see it a little bit better, right? Because you can see it hit resistance over here, started going back down, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. People thought here it was going to go back up, bounced off here, but until it creates a new higher high, and it now made a new lower low. And so here, this area has to hold, because if it breaks this area here, it can go further down, all the way back down to 2156. Lastly, RLBTC. This doesn't look good at all. It's just going down, 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 down. It peaked up, went right back down, and on a shorter time frame, it looks like it's curling back up, but we don't have any waves. So it has to go all the way back up to 999. It's very far from it. So we're talking, it has to make like a 15% move to create a new higher high. So I'm not looking forward to anything on that. So hopefully you follow us on Twitter and on Telegram. We put a lot of good information on there. And so, hopefully this technical analysis helps. You don't have to agree with everything that I say. Like I said, you don't have to even listen to anything that I say. This is my perspective and my perspective only, right? Just look at the chart yourself. Try to look at it with a clear eye. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to our channel and follow us on Twitter and on Telegram. Thank you very much for watching. If you like our videos, please share it with your friends and follow other crypto traders. If you have any questions, please ask away in the comment section below. Do a very good job of answering all of our comments and questions right away. Thank you again for watching, and see you in our next video.